Good morning, friends. It's a blessing to be here with you today. Let's talk about something we all encounter in life: conflict. Maybe you've had a falling out with someone close, a best friend, someone who feels like family. It hurts, doesn't it? But here's the good news. With God's help, broken relationships can be restored. Conflict is inevitable, but it's not the end. We're all human, and as humans, we make mistakes. Proverbs 27:17 tells us, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." But sometimes that sharpening process creates sparks, arguments, misunderstandings, hurt feelings. Even in the Bible, we see examples of close relationships strained by conflict. Paul and Barnabas, two great men of faith, had a disagreement so sharp that they parted ways. Acts 15:36 and 40. Yet God continued to work through both of them, and their story reminds us that conflict doesn't have to define the relationship. Step 1. Take it to God first. When tension arises, our first response is often to justify ourselves or place blame. But before you confront your friend, take your hurt and frustration to God. Philippians chapter 4:6-7 says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." Pray for wisdom, for understanding, and for God to soften both your heart and theirs. When you let God guide your thoughts, your words will reflect grace instead of anger. Step 2. Examine yourself before pointing fingers. Take a moment to reflect on your own role in the conflict. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 7:3-5, "Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? First, take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye." Ask yourself, have I been quick to judge? Did I communicate my feelings clearly? Have I been willing to forgive? Acknowledging your part in the situation opens the door for honest and humble reconciliation. Step 3. Approach with love and grace. When you're ready to talk to your friend, let love lead the way. Ephesians 4:29 says, "Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen." Start the conversation with kindness. Express your desire to restore the relationship. Apologize sincerely for any hurt you caused. Listen without interrupting. Remember, the goal isn't to win the argument, it's to mend the relationship. Step 2. Forgive. Even if it's hard, forgiveness doesn't mean excusing bad behavior or pretending the hurt didn't happen. It means choosing to release bitterness and resentment. Colossians 3:13 says, "Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you." God forgave us while we were still sinners, and He calls us to extend that same grace to others. Forgiveness brings freedom, not just for your friend, but for you. Step 5. Rebuild with God's help. Rebuilding trust takes time. It's a process, but with God's help, it's possible. Psalm 34:18 reminds us, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." Lean on God as you rebuild your friendship. Pray together, encourage one another, and let your relationship grow stronger through the challenge. In summary, I want to say this. Conflict doesn't mean the end of a friendship. It's an opportunity to grow. Just like gold is refined in fire, strong friendships are tested and strengthened through challenges. Proverbs 17:17 says, "A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity." If you're going through a rough patch with a friend, take heart. God is in the business of restoration. He can heal what's broken, soften hearts, and turn even the most painful conflict into a testimony of His grace. So take the first step. Pray, forgive, and reach out with love. With God at the center, your friendship can be restored and even stronger than before. God bless you.